Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to Simple Planes with actual planes. These aren't from a game, but they are, but they're actual real-life planes, and this is the F2H3 Banshee. Doesn't have landing gear, you instead use the VTOL controls to get the landing gear to retract upwards. This plane is very, very fast. Look at this. Look at how quickly this thing flies along. It does run out of fuel very quickly though. As you can see, this thing can get up to Mach 2. There's an achievement for getting to Mach 2, and I got it in this plane, like just now. Already over Mach 1. As you can see, it's very, very mobile and maneuverable. This it's able to dogfight very easily. But once again, it's just that fuel capacity. Does have an air brake though. So as you can see, as we slow down to this unknown airport, I have no idea what airport this is. You can't stop at it. And why are the engines still on? I have told it to cut the engines. No, the engines are still going. There you go, and power off. Nope, still going. Huh, the engines don't seem to want to work with this plane, but okay. So, yeah, let's speed up and crash in slow motion. Slow motion. Woo. Bang, bang, bang. Lovely, wonderful explosions, and all that's left is a cockpit. Wonderful. So yes, off it goes. So that was the Banshee, F2H3. So yeah, let's move on from here. This is going to be sort of end of World War II / post World War II first gen jet fighters and bombers and stuff. So yeah, this is all sort of basing on what War Thunder's got really. Don't have any of the MiGs and stuff, but anyway, let's move on from the Banshee. So our next aircraft of choice is the Yak-17. First Russian jet fighter, and yeah, here it is. It's highly mobile once again. Doesn't have very big tailplane control surfaces, secondary control surfaces. Well, no, these are still primary. What am I talking about? But yeah, as you can see, these aren't very large. It doesn't have a very good dogfighting pitch radius, or pitch speed rather. It's not very mobile. Rudder controls are good though, and we're gonna crash. That's what happens if you don't have good pitch controls. Yeah. Also, the thing about this is that it's going to the right. Look, I'm not actually pushing anything. It just seems to want to roll to the right when it's on the ground, and it does take a while to get off the ground because of those small tailplane surfaces. But yeah, it does turn very well. Sorry, just airsick there. It's very mobile. Look at this. Look at that. It turns on a dime. Well, it rolls on a dime. Doesn't really turn because of the terrible upwards pitching control surfaces that are highly terrible. It has much more fuel than the Banshee though. See, we're only at 93% fuel. So yeah, you can't really canyon fly with this plane. Yeah, that it does not have very big ailerons and elevators, but no matter. We can now move on from our MiG here, or Yak. It's Yak-17. Yeah, we'll move on from the Yak. And we are moving on to this, which is the IL-28. First Russian jet bomber. The tail does bash against the ground there, as you saw, but it does have actual landing gear. Fuel does seem to be a slight problem, but yeah, it does have two different cockpit views. So it's got this main one, if I can, there you go. So it does have this main cockpit view, and it's very fast, as you can see. And it also has a rear cockpit view as well for the gunner, gunner's view. So, yeah, it does have that. However, it does run out of fuel quickly, like the Banshee. But, once again, like the Banshee, it is fairly fast. Not too sure about those wings, though. Look at that. Wings aren't meant to do that. They're not meant to have a... It's not meant to do that. It's not meant to have a step there like that. But, no matter, this thing doesn't actually have any bombs, but I'm sure you could easily fashion on some bombs. It's certainly not quite as mobile as the Banshee. I think it might be slightly better at pitching up and down. It's certainly better at pitching up and down than the Yak. I think we all know that. And the thing about this plane is that because it can go so fast, if you go into the water and then come out, the engines can restart and off you go. Yes. It can submarine. So you can say to this plane, do you even submarine, bro? And it will go, yes, I can. Because IL-28. Strong IL-28. Duh. See if we can land it. Landing gear. Going far too fast. Crash landing. Brake. Brace for impact. Brace for impact, comrade. Oh, hang on. We're on the ground. We're on the ground. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. This could be bad. Oh. It's okay. Only the wings have fallen off slightly. And the rudder and vertical stabilizer. But other than that, it's fine. I think it would be safe to take off again. Yeah, definitely. What could possibly go wrong? It doesn't want to. It doesn't want to. Well, the IL-28, everyone. Strong Russian engineering. And this is our next aircraft. It is the Gloster Meteor, but in Egyptian service. This is the Egyptian roundels on there. I could have changed those into British roundels, but I didn't want to ruin the design that this person's done. These are all not my design, obviously. These are all designs that other people have made. But yeah, this is a very nice model in here. Isn't it wonderful? The wings might be slightly stubby, but yeah, this is still a very nice design. It does seem to lose speed quite rapidly in a climb and turn, but other than that, it's perfectly fine. It doesn't roll quite as well, and the pitch is alright, and it yaws very well. It's more stable than the other aircraft I've shown, unless you do this, in which case it's a dolphin in the air. But yeah, so the Gloster Meteor. Everyone loves the Gloster Meteor, the first British jet fighter. Everyone loves it. And off it goes. Whee! And turn. And let me get my camera back. There you go. Yay! So it certainly doesn't use fuel as much as the other aircraft here. But yeah, so we're flying around in our sunset here. The nice sunset. Enjoying the view. It's going to cockpit view, so it actually has a cockpit here, which is nice. They constructed a cockpit around the actual cockpit to make it feel like you're actually in a cockpit. That was a lot of cockpits in that sentence. But yeah, this is a very nice sleek Gloster Meteor. Not in any sort of camouflage, but in the default sort of silver metallic finish that many Meteors were in. So we've got two nice engines here. It's wonderful. Let's see if we can canyon run down around here. Yay! And tight turn. Are we going to make it? Just about. We had barely any room to spare. Nope. Nope. It didn't work. Slow motion falling. No. So, yeah, the Gloster Meteor, everyone, in pieces. Wonderful. Yes. And this is our next aircraft. If it looks like something you may know, then that's because it is something that you may know. This is the KI 200, aka the ME 163 Comet, but the Japanese version, as you've all seen from War Thunder, and I did that too early. I did think that we would be able to take off. I did think we would be able to take off in less time than it took. Yeah, that happened. Okay, so let's try that again. Yes, the KI-200, ME-163 Comet, but Japanese version. If the Japanese had actually got their jet fighters off the ground. Let's see if this thing can get off the ground. There you go. So the wheels come in very, very quickly, very nicely. There. And it does have the two forward-firing guns. As you can see, it's very nice. And it does go fairly quickly. If it can speed up here. Once again, fuel is a slight issue. And also it seems to want to fly into the ground a large amount. And also it doesn't pitch up very, very quickly. Yeah, the pitching up is not very good at all. The speed also isn't very good either. Yes, but it is a very nice model. Look at this thing. It's up to 400 miles an hour. That's a new speed record for it. Wonderful. Let's see if we can speed up. No, we're losing speed. Yeah, it's not a very quick plane. It doesn't handle very well either. See if we can go for a run-in on this carrier. It's an American carrier. These two guns aren't gonna deal much damage to it. It must be honourable. We shall do honourable. What? Say goodbye to your flight deck. More. We slightly missed it. Wait, but we're flying. Very honourable. Very honourable. Yes. So, yeah, the Japanese ME-163. There's a tiny little bit of it. It's going to chase. It's going to cockpit view. Yes. I'm flying. Flying and then we'll just be sick as we fall into the water here. We're actually going up. Oh no, now we're going down. Yeah, okay. So yes, that was the KI 2000. Splash. And here is the actual version of the ME-163 Comet. Not in any particular colours, but yeah, not in any particular colours, but it is a Comet. It does have the tiny little front rotor, which is wonderful. I did spend a while trying to find a Comet. I couldn't find one, at least not one which was good looking, because I like to look for the ones which look nice, and this is a very nice looking one, along with the KI. All of these models really are good looking, if we can regain control of our Comet here. This thing does not handle very well. Look at this. It pitches better than the Japanese one, at least, and the roll isn't particularly fast, but it's average. This is the cockpit view. Wonderful. We have our little front propeller. I think that front propeller is actually a ram air turbine. It may not be. It may just be some sort of other backup. Maybe some other sort of backup, but I think it is. I think it is a rat. But anyway, this thing goes a lot quicker than the Japanese one, as you can see. We're going a lot faster. I'm obviously slowing down because I'm turning around, but yeah, it's certainly going at the very fast speeds that it should be going at. It may even be going slightly faster. You never know. So yeah, it does have the two forward mounted guns. Wonderful. Just sticking out the front there. There we are. Wonderful. Lovely. So, yes. ME-163 Comet. Now let's see if we can land the Comet. We're at 50% fuel. Let's actually get back to an airport. If we're actually on the correct side of the island, we may be on the other one. There are several carriers around, aren't there? There's a carrier. I think that's the carrier that we were just at. There it is. So let's come in for a landing. Cut everything. And extend the landing gear. Coming in for a landing. We're still going very quickly, even though I don't have any power happening, but... Okay. Yeah. These jet engines do not want to stop, do they? Once they've started, there's no way stopping them unless you run out of fuel or crash. Successful landing. So, yeah, that was the Comet. The ME-163. And this is the beginning of the German jet fighters and stuff that I have lined up. And I'm sure everyone knows what this aircraft is, and if you don't know what this aircraft is, get out of here. But seriously, if you don't know what this plane is, where have you been? What have you been doing? This is the ME-262. Wonderful. Sturmvogel, aka Stormbird. Okay, and this is not handling correctly. Come on. Oh, I thought I could pull up. Nope. It explodes nicely. It's a very nice looking model when it's not exploding as well, but it explodes very nicely, and there's another bit of cockpit. Yeah, that happened. Alright, let's try this again. Taking off. It takes off very quickly. It builds speed very quickly. So we're pitching up. This is bad. We'll go into a stall if you're not careful. ME-262. Come on, pitch down. Come on. Give me back control. My elevators. Okay, I rolled it over. That should hopefully give me back control. Yes, I now have control. This is not the easiest plane to fly. It looks amazing, but it's not the best at flying. As you can see, the pitches are very, 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 very bad. The roll is nothing spectacular, and the yaw is non-existent, pretty much. Yeah, this thing is also unarmed. It would be armed with a variety of stuff, such as 30mm cannons, 20mm cannons, Liechtenstein, night fighter radar, various other radars, FUG 220, high-powered radar, that's one of them. Also be mounted with a 50mm cannon for anti-tank work, as we all know them at the, I was going to call it the Nassau, but it's not, it's the, okay. That was close, that's very close, water, bad for jets, bad for anything other than boats or submarines, come on, or seaplanes. Depends. Come on. That was bad. Come on. Damn it. Right, so we've gained some altitude. So this plane was powered by two Junker Jumo 004 engines under the wings here, which are very nice. I can't really talk about this plane when I have to control it. Not in SimplePlanes, not with this model. It's a very nice model, but then that's about it. It doesn't want to fly very well. It can get up to decent speed, I believe, but it's just keeping control long enough to reach those speeds. Let's get this thing on the ground before it damages itself and me. So, yeah, this is a very nice model. Look at it. How could you not like the ME-262? Very, very easily for some people. But anyway, let's power down. There we go. And I've missed the airport. I thought it was further over right, but it's not. It's over here. Let's extend the landing gear. I may want to give some power to the engine, otherwise we're going to crash. Nope. Crashing inbound. Oh, we survived. We survived to crash into the sea. And splush. At least you can get it back easily. It's only slightly underwater. I mean, come on, you can wade in there and drag it out. It's easy to recover, at least. So yeah, the ME-262. It looks very nice in SimplePlanes, this model, but it doesn't really fly nicely. So yeah, but I like it. 262. And this magnificent aircraft is the Horton HO-229 Flying Wing Stealth Bomber. Why did you say stealth bomber? Because it works as a stealth bomber, that's why. Some Americans built one in 2008. They built it to German specification, coated it with the same things that it would be coated, and they went, yeah, this everything works as a stealth bomber, because they tested it against some British radar, what they would have had at the time of 1940 and the chain home that they had for defending Britain. They tested it to the radios of that specification of that year, well, that time period, and they found out that it would take the British radio. It would give by the time this thing was detected, it would have given the British 2 minutes and 50 seconds to scramble some Spitfires to intercept it before it could drop bombs on London, which was not enough. So the thing that they coated this thing in, I can't remember what it was, but the thing that they coated this in actually worked. It worked as a stealth bomber. They just never really got around to producing it. So this thing doesn't actually have weapons on it. These things look like they're weapons, but no, those are just fancy looking things to look like a weapon. Once again, this would have been powered by UMO 004 engines, jet engines. It has a large fuel capacity. It looks amazing. Look at this thing. Here's in the cockpit. They've sort of made it look like the actual cockpit interior of how it would look if you were looking up, at least. So yeah, there's the massive wing. Because that was the Germans had lots of revolutionary designs. They had the first operational jet fighter, the first operational jet interceptor, the first operational jet bomber, the first jet flying wing aircraft, which is this one. They came up with a lot of firsts. The first operational jet engine, the UMO 004, first real pulse jet engine mounted on the V1 flying bomb. So yeah, let's try and land this thing. We're going at a lot slower speeds and we're coming in at a decent angle. Slightly off. I'm not too sure what the VTOL's for, but it apparently has VTOL. Never did, but sure, in SimplePlanes it does on this model. Come on. Yes, we're coming in decently. No, too hard. Right at the last second, I pitched down. I shouldn't have done. I should have just let it glide in. But yeah, let's retract that landing gear. So yeah, the Horton HO-229. It's a very, very nice looking plane, and it flies decently. It flies very well, actually, and the model is very nice when it's not smashed. But yeah, so let's move on from this scene of horror and destruction. And this plane is the second to last aircraft that I have. This is the Heinkel. Well, it's known as the Salamander. It's like the Heinkel HE 162 or 163, I think. But whatever it is, it's the Salamander. And this thing was designed to be a jet interceptor, the same as the Comet. The Comet was also meant to be a jet interceptor. The Gotha, as it's also known as, but the Horton HO-229, which is also known as the Gotha 229, that was designed as a jet bomber. This 262 was obviously a jet fighter. The next plane that I have, the Arado, the R234, wow, that was also a jet bomber, but more commonly used as an interceptor. So, anyway, the Salamander, very, very quick. Look at this thing. It looks amazing as well. Look at this. This is a very nice model. It has the one big engine on top, which may have been a BMW 003 engine, may have been a Heinkel No, it may have been a Junker 004. Not too sure on that. But whatever it was one of those two jets, and it does have the two underslung cannons, which is very nice. It doesn't have any sort of bombs or anything, but look at this, look at the speed of it. Let's get a flyby. Look at it, it's amazing, so long as I don't crash. So, yeah, this thing is very, very mobile. Look at this, so manoeuvrable. The pitch could be better, but it's about average, and the yawing is decent. It's alright. It's sort of non-existent, but that could be because of either A, the speed. The speed! It's over 9,000! Not really. But yeah, I do like this plane. This plane is very nice looking, isn't it? Look at it. It's so amazing. Das Plane. Das Boot. Das Plane. So yeah, let's come in for a landing if I can find that. There it is. It's always hiding behind that mountain. So let's take out the gear. Off goes the jet. Brake. Although we're coming in decently speed. And here we go. This plane did actually have landing gear. The Comet did have landing gear, but it would also have a sled to take off, and it would also have a ski to land, but this plane shouldn't have landed like that. That was a nice spin, though, on its fuselage. Yeah, we may have wrecked it slightly, ever so slightly. It may be dead. Still shoots, though. So that's always good. Yeah. So the Salamander. And this magnificent piece of German engineering is our final aircraft. It is the Arado AR-234 jet bomber. Very, very quick, apparently. Yeah. This thing did get powered by UMO 004 engines, but then they switched over to BMW 003 engines, so that the 004s could go towards producing Me-262s. And so this plane, it's wonderful, isn't it? Doesn't have any guns, it never did. You can do that, which, I don't know, I think those are extra fuel tanks, so you probably don't want to do that. But yeah, it cruises along quite happily. It's a very nice looking model, isn't it? So, in the cockpit, you can't actually see anything. This is a 10 out of 10 IGN best cockpit. But, yeah. So, the cockpit doesn't really work. As for the plane works very well. There we go. Wonderful, we have feet to spare. As we fly past that American carrier. Your American carrier. Yeah. Wonderful. Ten out of 10. Best sound effects. So yeah, let's try and land this Arado. If I can actually land one of these planes, it would be nice. We're running low on fuel because I sort of got rid of those extra fuel tanks, which is what I probably shouldn't have done. But yeah, so let's power down to about 33% because that's what War Thunder says. And I now know where this runway is. So if we can actually land on the runway, or at least near the airport, so that we can retrieve the pilot. And power off. This thing does have air brakes, as you can see, air brakes. That was hard braking, hard as in hard ground braking. But yeah, that was our last aircraft for me to show of the jet, early jet period. Well, World War II and slightly after. So I will thank you for watching, and goodbye.